Okay, so now why we need to actually or what are the so important for us to maintain the biodiversity? So there are few reasons definitely. First, we talk about ecological life supports, ecological life supports. Okay. Second, contributes a contributions to the climate stability. Okay, we'll go through one by one later. And also scientific research to improve the human health. Okay, food security and agricultural aspect, economical activity, aesthetic a reason, as well as moral and ethical reasons. Okay, so you can see that what are the contributions. Okay, this is because highlight. Okay, quite a number of questions always come out. Okay, in essay question, in structure, the biodiversity, because these are the contributions of the biodiversity. Okay, so quite factual. So first, you need to sometimes in question you need to give the example. So please do use a suitable example to mentions or to support your statement. So first, we talk about ecological life support. So what's mean by ecological life support? So when we talk biodiversity, because of what we call it, the species diversity. Okay, so it will provide a functioning ecosystem that supply the oxygen, clean air, water, pollination of plant, pest control, wastewater treatment, as many ecological services. So in this case, for example, we talk about oxygen, we need to have plants. Correct or not? We talk about the clean air. Okay, plant also can help the traps. Okay, pollinations of plant, we need the insects. Okay, pest control, for example, we do have biological control onto these pests. Okay, and wastewater treatment by certain bacteria. So these are the ecological life supports that are performed by these different variety of the organisms. Okay, so ecosystem perform a vital functions of recycling nutrient as well. So what it means? Bacteria. Okay, for example, rhizobium, right? We talk about rhizobium, we talk about nitrosomonas, nitrobacter, okay, denitrifying bacteria. So they perform what we call the recycling nutrients, okay? And also plant are able to take out the nutrient from the soil as well as the air, and also using sunlight, carry out photosynthesis, and it form a basis of the food chain. So without the plant, there's no producer, okay? So we do know that loss of biodiversity may have a reverberating consequence on the ecosystem because of the complex interrelations among each other. So basically, one species extinct or disappear in that particular ecosystem, definitely the rest of the species will have the effect on other species. Okay. Second, we talk about the contributions to the climate stability. For example, ecosystem rich in biodiversity are healthy ecosystem, so they are more resilient to the impact of the climate change. Undisturbed forests can help to maintain rainfall in its immediate vicinity by recycling the water vapor at a steady rate through the transpiration. So it's a what we call this a cycle. So you can see that raining, so water actually store at the soil, but plant carry out transpirations to evaporate. So it forms a cycle. Can you see that? Okay, it's very important. Can you see it raining, rainfall, and then if without the plant, what will happen? Flooding take place because we won't have so fast or in high rates to evaporate the water. Okay, from the ground to atmosphere. Okay. And we do know that some habitat reduce amount of CO2, right? When talk about the plants help to remove the CO2, okay? And also conserving mangrove and other coastal ecosystem can lessen disastrous impacts of climate change, such as the flooding and storm surge, okay, at the coastal area, okay? How about scientific research? Yes, we look into the antibiotics. We look to the anti-cancer in this case for scientific research, right? Okay, so certain plant or certain species they have certain medicinal compound that we can extract from them. So if one day we don't have that plant anymore, so means that there is a loss in terms of the resources for the medicinal compounds. Okay. Food agriculture and food security agricultural aspect, because nowadays we do look into the crop plants, and we do know that crop plants, they do not have much genetic diversity, because inbreeding, we continue to inbreed our crop plants. Why we inbreed our crop plants? The reason that we inbreed, because we want to have the particular characteristic that we want, like for example high yield crops. So but we don't care about others. okay, I mean other characteristic, what will happen next? So one day, okay, because of selection pressure done by humans, that particular, for example, disease tolerant, okay, maybe certain some drought tolerance variety, those plants may not be able to continue because too much of the inbreeding in this case until that particular allele already disappear in the population. So when it disappear already, so how if one day climate change, okay, then we need to actually have the what you call this crossbreeding, but no more already. So but as long as we still have the wild relative that adapt to that particular environment, then we can do what we call the genetic engineering. We can actually crossbreed them to have the genetic diversity. Okay, my mistake here, climate. Okay, how about economical activities? So as we know that we obtain the food and resources from the wild populations. Okay, about 1.6 billion people in the world rely on the forest and non-timber products for the income. So many recreation pursuits rely on a unique biodiversity, for example, bird watching, hiking, camping, fishing, and also ecotourism, okay, that depends on the biodiversity. Aesthetic aspect, in this case, again, many people gain pleasure from studying or just appreciating the natural world. Again, so you go to the jungle, okay, you have the ideal inspiration for artists, photographer, okay, those that can have the creativity in terms of their projects. Okay, yeah. So those are the contributions of the biodiversity, and that's why we want to maintain the biodiversity. Okay. So we're done for this part. You can register attendance now. Okay. So it takes 5 minutes to register attendance, and then we continue to discussions, and then we continue to the next part, the threats, okay, to the biodiversity. Okay.